Hello guys, Salvador here. Today we will take a look on the OrangePi 4 single board computer, another RK3399 SBC, an SoC I really like for Linux ARM desktop usage on a single board computer based on ARM, mostly because it has a lot of I/O and a much more powerful GPU than the Raspberry Pi 4. It has a very decent and mature open source driver, Panfrost. It has also BPU drivers on development and will be soon on the upstream kernel. So the BPU will be in charge of decoding the media. Right now I will show you that it will be decoding on CPU and it will perform okay, but because this is a 28 nanometer SBC, it will be hot if you don't use active cooling. So you can power this with USB Type-C or paddle jack. You have the both options. The GPIO it is not compatible with Raspberry Pi 4. And then you have another expansion boards. You can add for quite cheap 4 LTE expansion boards. So I think it is like 20 bucks to add that feature to this board. So that is really cheap for a 4G LTE module. I think it is a nice feature of the board. Modules like that for Raspberry Pi 4 are quite expensive, so that is a very good feature. So I am on Armian Focal kernel 5.6. Armian comes with kernel 5.4, but from Armian config, this is what you are watching now, you can change the CPU frequencies. You don't need to reboot like on Raspberry Pi. Change the kernel, install to USB, install to NVMe if you have an NVMe drive. This is not the case because other single board computers have NVMe ports, but this one doesn't. So some YouTube test. This is 1080p 30 FPS. Remember, while they are BPU drivers, open source drivers on development, right now we are on CPU decoding. It can decode 1080p 30 FPS perfectly fine if you have active coolings, sorry, because it will be quite hot. This is SoC. It is a bit because it's much more complex than the Raspberry Pi 4 CPU. While both are 28 nanometers, the RK3399 it is a bit hot compared to Raspberry Pi 4 SoC. I will check another. This is another test I made on Box86 plus Wine on Mugen, which is a interesting engine for fighting games. I will try 1080p 60 FPS, but you will see that it will be impossible. Nine. So yeah, 1080p 60 FPS no go. At least with CPU decoding. If we have BPU drivers, maybe that will be achievable and with much less stress for the CPU. That means it will run way cooler. Way colder, sorry. So yeah, this game seems really cool. So enough for YouTube test. Now let's try some page marking on the. This is the SD card reader. As you can see, only I have the read speeds, and they are quite low. And I talked with an SBC maker, and he told me that is related to the voltage that the SD card reader have to work. If they increase the voltage, that could increase the speed of the SD card reader. So I expect that OrangePi and other makers do the improvement required to improve the performance of the SD card readers. As you can see, this is the built-in 16 GB of eMMC, and it have very good read speeds, but the write speeds aren't that good. Okay. So now some gaming. First I will show my poor setup. This SBC desktop on the chip. I use a 12-volt fan. It will run really quiet because it is running on 5 volt. So this is a native game. This is a 32-bit game, but because Ubuntu have support to add 32 bits, and now on Ambient it is by default added ARM Hardflow, which is 32-bit ARM platform. You need to install the drivers and the packages which are on the repo. It will be just to install those packages to be able to run 32-bit software. This was compiled on Raspberry Pi 4, and I can execute it and run it on this ARM64 platform.
My old love.
I think you know this game. This is Serious Sam. And the second encounter. The game runs quite great. We are on 1080p. With, if not max settings, is almost there. No visible, or at least no really visible glitches, or minor ones you see on the background. There are some weird stuff that, but probably I don't know if it is the recorder or which is producing this, or it is the game itself. You know, that was a huge stuttering, but if you are about those stutterings, the game it is quite stable, and if you want to play it on 60 FPS, just drop the resolution to 720p. But the game is playable at 1080p.
dress suit.
The next one, it is Battle Block Theater. It will run great on 720p without the enhanced background.
I think you should pick cool and good things, and not dumb and stupid things. Good evening, boys and girls. Ladies, gentlemen, turn the lights down low and shut your faces as I wrap you in the cozy blanket of a story. A story as heartwarming and soft as a... What a strange, mysterious island. And what's this? The shore is riddled with little friend-sized footprints. Guess the tide brought them to land. How utterly convenient. But where have they gotten to? Who knows? I don't. Do you? Maybe our friends came in here to take shelter from the rain. That's smart. But geez, what a gloomy place. Ever heard of spring cleaning? Oh, happy day! It's Hattie! And look, he's made some wonderful new friends. Ooh, and they got him a present. How thoughtful. Hey, wait a second. I don't think that was a present. Ha! Those guys aren't wonderful new friends, are they? Just stay hidden and keep quiet. They haven't seen you yet. Oh no, they see you. Clench your butt. This isn't gonna be good. Yep, that wasn't good. That wasn't good at all. Find the gems to whisk you away from this horrible place. saw somebody peeing in it. Oh my goodness gracious! Go for the A+. Go for it.
And now some Age of Empires 2. I was expecting a bit better performance, but Wine on box 86, it is a work in progress, so this may improve down the road. There are some tweaks I could try to improve the performance.
Ouvert.
Heiße, dass ich soll. Ja, dass ich soll. Stürme. Bereite. Ja. Red. Sasa.
Das war. Buvere.
Ouvert.
this is my ranking of AirCap 3399 SBCs till now, based on my experience on this SoC, which I consider a very good SoC for single-board computers, at least for ARM desktop usage. The problem with these boards are not the boards itself or the maker prices, are the taxes on the Western countries and the inability, not of the probably of the makers, but the difficult to introduce these products at a reasonable price on Western markets. They are not the board themselves.